Nikita.
Hi,
Hello. How are you doing?
good. Extremely busy.
Okay.
Just figured 1 hour for this, but otherwise all good. It's just I'm pulled in from all sides today, which is sometimes interesting.
Okay. So, how about your twin flame journey? How is it going?
I believe great. I haven't. We haven't spoken yesterday or today. He's been extremely busy. We both have been so
Okay.
extremely busy with work that we haven't had an
Hmm.
opportunity to chat even.
Okay. So, is there anything that particularly you would like to work on?
Well, I have been busy, so I can't complain.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a bit more communication from both ends will be nice.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
So, whenever I'm talking about lack of communication,
Hmm.
how much resistance do you feel in the real moment or the present moment based on the situation and the circumstances that you're experiencing in the now moment? Because the time is now, there is no future, nothing
Hmm.
is set in the stone.
Hmm.
So it's always the now moment that decides the next moment. That's how
Mm-hmm.
the momentum building exercise is created
Mm-hmm.
of the alignment. So in this now moment, on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being you're very happy and
Hmm.
0 being you're least happy, how happy are you from on a scale
Five.
of 0 to 10? Okay, 5.
Hmm.
Great. So you're happy 5. So the rest 5, where you're not happy, do you sense the resistance?
I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
Like, what I mean is that 5 आप खुशी महसूस कर रहे हैं,
Hmm.
5 आप खुशी नहीं महसूस कर रहे हैं.
I'd love to be more, no matter how busy we are, I would love at least a hello, hi. Even I'm to be blamed, to be honest. I slept late last night at 1
Hmm.
because I was caught up with a couple of incidents happening and
Hmm.
in US, and he has, I don't know, he even slept for that matter.
Hmm.
So,
But I'm talking about your feelings. Vibrational जो alignment होती है,
hmm.
it's always about how you're feeling. तो अगर आप जो फील कर रहे हो, जो भी सपोज कहीं ना कहीं आप खुश नहीं है, तो वो जगह पे अगर आप अपने खुश नहीं वाले पैटर्न को अवॉइड कर देते हैं, तो क्या
Hmm.
होता है? That does not go away. If we avoid it and bypass it, that's called spiritual bypassing
Mm-hmm.
or Novocaine spirituality, another term for it. तो अगर हम bypass कर देते तो वो थॉट चली नहीं जाती है, वो मैनिफेस्ट होती रहती है
Mm-hmm.
इरिटेबिलिटी के जरिए. जब तक ना हम उसके ऊपर काम कर रहे होते हैं, we do not get what we desire.
Mm-hmm.
That's why delay happens. Otherwise, the time is now. This is the moment. Any miracle can happen at this right moment. There is no
Mm-hmm.
divine timing. This is the divine timing.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you feel the resistance about the fact that when I say lack of communication,
Mm-hmm.
how much resistance do you feel in your heart center area?
Like in the center of the heart.
Physically, how much resistance are you sensing?
Quite a bit. I don't know how
Yeah,
to measure it, but quite a bit. Yes.
quite a bit. Yeah, exactly. So, go
Mm-hmm.
to the resistance area in your heart center. The
That would be
resistance
in the center of the chest or
center
just
of the
above?
chest.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Where the heart chakra is. Okay.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. So as you go and hug that part, do you sense that it's percolating down to another layer of molecule right now?
Um, Explain again
Do you
what
sense
you.
the movement of that center zone resistance as you're loving it? And do you
Yeah,
sense
it,
a
it
physical
feels a bit of
movement?
heavy.
Yeah, physical circulating movement of that heaviness.
I do.
Hmm. So along with that movement, you have to move. Every time that resistance is moving, the
Mm-hmm.
resistant part, the heavy part, that heavy tip point has to be loved.
Got it.
Yeah. So you have to love the heavy tip point. It will bring up a lot of emotions which are stored in your energy body.
Mm-hmm.
Like those emotions will flow on its own. You can just go by the sensation of the molecules. That's like the most fastest acceleration method right now on Earth. So as we go into the deeper state where you're feeling the resistance, as you love that, I'll guide you through in case, but you'll be able to feel it. I don't even have to guide you. You can sense it in your body.
Mm.
So just keep on flowing in that resistance. It's going downwards, it's going upwards, it's going sideways. Just follow that. It's like a pendulum tip point,
Mm-hmm.
which is oscillating and is heavy. So the heavy part needs your love, and every time you're loving it, it's becoming smaller and smaller. Do you sense that movement?
I do.
Yeah. So that's how you have to flow. You're doing great. Finally, you're going with it. You're doing great. Seriously. Keep on flowing. Geminis are very fast. We do it in light speed. Once we get it, we have got it. Finally, you've got this, girl. There's a part it's like kind of stuck. Wherever you're feeling more stuck, like right now,
Mm.
continue to love. It'll bend on its own. Just all you need to do is love that zone. It's getting loosened up. These are emotional pocket points or energies which are stored in assembled particles of energy only, which have become the resistance. And these are the blocks. And blocks are very literal blocks, you see.
Mm-hmm.
And blocks have to be cleared by clearing our karma. And this is how we can clear karma the fastest. There's no faster method than this to clear our karma. But it's a continuous process. Why? It's preferable to stay within and do every work.
Mm-hmm.
So we see another tip point energy. वहां
Mm-hmm.
पे प्यार दीजिए. And finally, now that you live loving that part, you will see एक बारिश की तरह बहुत कुछ चीजें गिर रहे हैं. And that's a massive purging happening in your system at this point of time. And a huge clearing happening really fast, and I'm glad.
Me too.
Right now, we have reached another center point, and this is your anxiousness about Lotto. Not just Lotto, like in finances in general. It can be finances, can be career, can be anything of a similar genre. Love that aspect. Same way. This molecule is a bit more stuck inside type, so you have to go inside and love it. Just follow the movement, how it is guiding you by its movement. And there's another huge rush of emotions pouring out. We're reaching a health zone, and this is a repressed anxiousness that is there in every human deep down. So, this little tiny bit of fear, wherever it is stored, as you love that resistance, you're releasing it to, wow, you're doing great. And we've reached that point of your marriage. So, this molecule is going to take you to the portal of marriage. Did you sense a zone which is like wall kind of thing?
Mm. I do.
That see the resistance to your marriage. This is how much you're resistant to marry. Why, Navneeta?
No bloody clue.
Okay.
Or
तो
maybe
ये
I'd be accustomed to be traveling and around the world meeting friends, and I have that freedom. Maybe, don't know.
ये resistance पे प्यार जाते हुए a new portal is opening for you. Something unbelievably massive is going to come in your way.
God bless you.
बहुत ज़्यादा प्यार दीजिए इस area को. Something unbelievably magical, that's so magical that you'll be like, you'll be in another world very soon. Had a lot of decisions to make and stuff. A lot of things are coming up for you. एक जगह है जहाँ पे एक you see blockage है, like resistance है, like if you are holding on to something and often at times जो होता है कि जब हम manifest कर रहे होते हैं, we are like we want it this way particularly, and we just get stuck on that way. That is also lack. But what you really truly desire, that feeling, right? So just focus on that. वैसे भी मुझे वो feeling मिलने वाली है, so I can just let go. Whenever we do this let go thing, things just manifest on the fastest note. बहुत time ये होता है कि हम let go नहीं कर पाते क्योंकि हम कहीं ना कहीं lack में जी रहे हैं कि अगर हम let go कर देंगे चीज वापस नहीं आएगी. But what is yours, you can just let go anytime. Like
Yeah, I'm happy to let go.
so उस जगह पे just be in that area and just love that resistance. You're doing great, man. Very close to your marriage. इतना तो मैं लिख के दे सकती हूँ. You are very close to your marriage. As you love this resistance part, एक जगह है जो बाहर निकलने की कोशिश कर रही है हार्ट सेंटर से, which Kajal even you will have. और आप लिटरली बहुत कुछ चीज हार्ट में रख चुके हैं बहुत टाइम से आप लोग. We are pushing them out. These are blocks of energy which needed to release themselves. And a boulder like thing जो आपके दिल के especially एक seated state में है, bored sort of, burden sort of, जो आप thought process conditioning ways के वजह से, society के ways के वजह से carry कर रहे हैं कि ऐसे चीजें होना चाहिए, ऐसे चीजें होते हैं, ऐसे चीजें होते आए हैं, this is the rule, this is how it should be, this is how it should not be. ये सारे जो भी thought process आपके अंदर है, we are pushing that out. And सोसाइटल कंडीशनिंग के जो ये बोल्डर है वो लिटरली हम पुश आउट कर रहे हैं आपके सिस्टम से. यू आर फ्री. हाउ डू यू फील अमिता?
हाँ, बहुत light. Sorry, बहुत light. It feels light.
I feel like another Navneeta's body. I'm tapping into right now. A new version of Navneeta is here.
No, I know, but heart center and just in the center of
Yeah.
the heart,
Yeah.
that tip point feels a little heavy too. Still, I've been
So
adoring and loving it though.
now there is another part remaining. नीचे की तरफ जो खींच रहे हैं उस जगह पे प्यार देते हुए we are rising it up on the other side. नीचे की तरफ जो चीज चली गई थी उसको प्यार देते हुए हम ऊपर की तरफ डाल रहे हैं. नीचे की तरफ चले जा रहे तो हम एंटी क्राइस्ट जा रहे हैं, ऊपर की तरफ हम जा रहे तो along with Christ हम जा रहे. This is the funda. You have to go in the center and remove this boulder. So we are pulling it up
Boulder
and
of
from the center,
resistance, right?
boulder of resistance, yeah. and we are throwing it out. As you throw it out, you will see that your body is just connected to the universe. You're a part of the universe. You're not different from the universe because you're all the universe having a human experience. You literally feel like you're a part of plants, animals, and everything, an extension of all that is. So it's like from the center point, बहुत सारी चीजें literally रिलीज हो रहे हैं, और जो भी चीज रिलीज हो रही है बारिश की तरह, वो कोई भी चीज आपके नहीं है. Nothing belongs to you. You belong to nobody. वो वाली फीलिंग आपको एक्टिवेट हो रही है अभी. This is a great state of spirituality जो आपकी एक्टिवेट हो रही है इस वक्त. So it is your day, definitely.
I threw away the boulder. It was
Yeah.
very heavy.
बहुत सारे boulders अभी रिलीज हो रहे हैं. Allow them to fall. Watch them fall and break, and you'll feel like release, and you are rising up in the air. And this is where आप अपने you are a twin flame and you have a twin flame, और इस जन्म में आप अपने twin flame के साथ यूनियन के लिए आए हैं. I'm nobody to tell कौन आपके twin flame है, क्योंकि इस दुनिया में कोई भी आपको नहीं बता सकते और बताना भी नहीं चाहिए कि कौन किसका twin flame है. It's a fact, because it's a sin to tell somebody that, because वो उसका खुद का जर्नी होता है, और वही जर्नी होती है जिंदगी की कि मेरा ट्विन फ्लेम कौन है, मेरी ट्रू डिजायर क्या है, मैं इस दुनिया में किस काम के लिए आई हूँ, कौन एग्जैक्टली मैं हूँ, मैं एग्जैक्टली कौन हूँ. ये सारी चीजों की समझ लाना ही जिंदगी है. और हर एक मोमेंट हम जिंदगी में खुद को ढूंढ रहे, खुद के एक नए लेयर हमें पता चल रहा है. तो इस वक्त आपके ट्विन फ्लेम के आत्मा के साथ आपके यूनियन हो रहे 5D लेवल पे, जो आप क्लियरली देख सकते हैं. यू वोंट बी एबल टू सी फेसेस बिकॉज 5D में फेस नहीं होते, सोल होते हैं. तो आप दोनों सोल की मर्जिंग देख पाएंगे. जो भी रेजिस्टेंस है डर के वजह से 5D और 3D को अलाइन करने में आपको, वो रेजिस्टेंस आपके सेंटर पॉइंट से निकल रहे हैं. वाओ, ग्रेट. Your merging is going to be very fast now, because जो main resistance अंदर थी, you released it. बहुत लोग यही resistance को निकल नहीं पाते, because they're like होगा या नहीं होगा, अगर नहीं हुआ तो ये करते हुए resistance अटक जाता है. And what I get from your vibration is like जो होगा तो वही होना है.
Exactly. भाड़ में जाए kind of thing.
That's great.
I mean, literally in that vibe.
That's great. This is the moment when magic and miracle happens in our life. When we are like
Can't
no
take boulders and all
attachment.
that jazz.
Yeah. How do you feel in your नया vibration, नया alignment, नया state of consciousness, नए celestial kingdom vibration? How do you
Yeah,
feel?
it's and now I was
Welcome
actually
home.
flying up. I was actually flying up in the air, and all
So,
blue skies.
I
And
have a surprise for you.
tell
आप
me.
जिस घर पे पहुंचे हो अभी, don't ask me how I know. I know. Close your eyes.
Okay.
You will be the floor you are in. उस फ्लोर पे आप बहुत से लोगों से मिल पाएंगे. You'll meet various famous personalities as well. Congratulations on that. You're exactly inside the house directly. It's like a wild card entry because of good karma, and also because you were born out of a mother who was already connected. So that is why you're already here.
Awesome.
So जो भी जगह पे आप डर रहे हैं, उस डर से निकालते हुए यू आर रीचिंग अ छत जहाँ पे सोलर पैनल वैनल आपको दिखाई देगा. You'll meet me also there. I'll tell you hi.
I just did.
Yeah. So you see solar panel and all that. You see
Yeah.
how organically New Earth is thought of.
Yeah, indeed.
And there is a resistance little छोटा छोटा है जहाँ पे आप कोई चीज को परख करके जी रहे हो जो आपकी ईगो है. एंड यही पे वो जगह आ जाती है. ट्विन फ्लेम जर्नी में एक जगह होती है this is when exactly I attracted my true twin flame, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know my story, all of you here
Mm.
know my story. I don't need to give an explanation of that all over again. But एक जर्नी पे टाइम आती है when you are like मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता है किसके साथ होगा, कब होगा, कैसे होगा, bring it on.
Mm. Same here.
इसके बाद चीज होती है. इट डजंट मैटर, उसके वो एक वक्त आ जाती है जब फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि किसके साथ हो रहा है. यू नो
Mm.
कि हो रहा
Mm.
है, जो हो रहा है
Mm.
सच में हो रहा है.
Yes.
मे बी
Yes.
समवन बेटर. एंड दैट
Yes.
इज
Yes.
व्हाट द पॉइंट इज. एंड नाउ दैट यू आर देयर, allow
Mm.
yourself to purge that molecule out. जो चीज आप पकड़ के रख रहे हो, ये नहीं तो कोई और नहीं हो सकता है. Let it
Mm.
go. तुम नहीं तो ठीक है भाई, तुम किसी और के हो, मेरा जो है वो तो आ जाए. तुम्हारे वजह से why am I blocking that person? When you give that attitude,
Mm. I
miracles
agree to that.
happen.
Mm.
And sense another molecule जो
Mm.
बड़ा सा बोल्डर है. You can sense new earth, but ये gap, थोड़ा सा resistance आप फिर भी महसूस कर रहे हैं.
I threw
तो
that.
थोड़ा, yeah, through that. Wow, welcome home. I Now you know that it's all here and you sense that.
I do. I do. Certainly, I do.
Okay, now you're just coming out of that false mask energy to the. Welcome back home. How do you feel?
Fabulous. It's always nice to be home. It feels very. It feels great. It feels very light actually, and that boulder was huge.
I am so glad that finally I could
That
integrate it.
resistance boulder was huge actually.
Yeah.
More the throwing
जब
that away
भी
was
वो सब
good.
आएंगे, you have to just continue this method. The method I taught you today.
Okay.
This is your soul ka integration method, which I channeled while working on you. So
Mm-hmm.
push this thing. Push करने से, the moment you push it out, it's like considering each boulder is a mountain, and each
Mm-hmm.
mountain is like all the thoughts, and those mountains become a bridge between us and the environment. Every
Mm.
time those boulders get formed, and once we push these all, we are
Mm-hmm.
nothing but we're all that is. This is the whole concept.
I see. Interesting. It was a wonderful journey, I would say, for the last few minutes. I
I'm
loved it.
glad.
I enjoyed the complete ride, to be honest. It was fun.
Thank you. I'm glad
Thank
that
you.
you enjoyed. And I'm glad that you're where you are right now is like a very beautiful place.
You know what? Actually, indeed, I am. In fact, last night only I was feeling, I should have just pinged him. We've been so busy. But I was in the state today that, you know what, whatever it is, for all I care. And you just hit the nail on the right place. And I'm at a state that whatever happens, it's all for good. I'm not really bothered when what.
You do have a twin flame.
Hmm.
What message I got for you, like you have a twin flame and you're very close and you are supposed to be with your twin flame for spiritual purposes
Mm-hmm.
and serious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you're important as a soul in the journey. You have a lot of gifts to contribute, and your gifts can really contribute for great.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, you're being prepared and you're ready to receive this information on a soul level. That is why you could release whenever I'm talking about this, the resistance is getting built up. You see, again in that heart center area, you see a mountain sort of a thing is getting built up.
And I'm throwing it.
Continuously keep doing it throughout the day
Mm.
for 21 days. Consciously do it because every day you will have to work, you'll have a lot of pressure. So at the end of
Mm.
the day, this resistance will be built up there.
Mm.
Every day, just push it and feel like I'm one with Mother Nature. Push, I'm
Mm.
one with Mother Nature. Continue this process for like 21 days. Say
So
21st
just
January. Just continue consciously.
okay. So just go within, love that area, and that
Push
push
it.
that,
You don't
push it
even have to
along.
love it. Like your love is
Okay.
already in the flow process.
Okay. Got it.
Once
So
you
just
push it
go.
and you're saying I'm one with Mother or
Hmm.
Gaia or Mother Nature, you're already
Mm.
getting into the love vibration vortex because Gaia is all about love
Mm.
and twin flames love.
Mm.
So once you release that And every time that tip point is getting very, it doesn't want to come out, then you have to love it and open it. And like the thing that I'm just right now doing, you can sense the way I'm just opening it right now. In the
Mhm.
same method, you have to open it, like, and then you will see things falling, like the right now how things are falling.
Mm.
That's exactly how we will be experiencing.
So after you move the boulder, that's all.
Mm. Right now,
Okay.
I remove the tip point. There's
Yeah,
a tip point block. Do you sense I'm
I
removing
do.
that? Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Now,
yeah,
do you see things are coming out? Hush, hush, karke.
yeah.
Rush of things pouring
Like a
out.
rush. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So this is a method you have to apply whenever it's getting very resistive. Just go to the top. It's like a Pepsi bottle, like a twisty
Mm-hmm.
bottle.
Mm. Mm.
Like removing that, releasing it,
Mm.
and a huge rush of things are falling. You have
Really.
to continue this
Mm.
method every time you're sensing resistance, so it will not
I'll do
come.
that every night actually.
Yeah.
After, yeah, because whole day
Hmm.
kapura resistance goes
Hmm.
out. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you,
Uh,
ma'am. And since you're in that energy, when do you envisage the wedding is expected? Just roughly.
I'll give you a reading from Rumi card.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Let's see what Rumi has to tell you. Because any message that Rumi has to tell you is something that the soul is ready to know. Let's see. And
Cool.
number will also be coming because each card has a number.
Awesome.
Okay. Beyond death and life. And this is 1, so January.
Are
So
you?
some message is coming for you at this point of time. You're exactly here spiritually right now.
Uh,
So
I
something
feel it.
massive is coming for you.
In fact, I was sensing that last evening, the way things are. He's never been so quiet ever before. So
I'm
it's like,
calling to you. Can you hear me? Listen.
huh,
In your heart,
huh,
there I speak. My voice rings true. You
hmm,
are urged beyond what has been. The time has come. Lay to rest now. The ending comes as grace to free you from
hmm,
all that you have known, what you have known and now too small for your soul. Bear your uncertainty with equanimity.
uh-huh,
I am certain enough for both of us. Allow me to show you the light that you are, that burns within you, blazing angel of heavenly purity. I will unveil you to yourself, undressing your ego, casting aside its layers, as tender as a lover, with unwavering attention upon the sacred body of light. You shall know yourself in truth, as pure beyond all experiences, untainted, ever innocent, as a pure vessel, stripped bare, ready to for divine revelation, as light as life, as love. The soul craves variety because it leads to wholeness, and wholeness leads to divine revelation. The purpose of the soul incarnating in the world in the first place is to realize its divinity through the sacred crucible of life. The order, the older the soul, the closer it is to realization of divine oneness, and the more powerful its determination to shed that which would constrain complete and conscious immersion into the divine presence. So here you are, an old soul at the edge of something you've known, at the cusp of an ending and a beginning. Perhaps you're ready in surrender and falling in, or perhaps you're fearful and resisting as you greet your unknown destiny. Yet this moment is happening because your own divine soul has chosen for it to be this way, so that love may grow. There is no punishment in this ending, nor is there anything to fear. There may be pain, there may be grief and loss, there may be uncertainty and even insecurity. Yet you have a heart big enough to bear such growing pains. Your heart is even big enough to receive the joy that is lying in the wait for you as you stumble across her in in the course of your clumsy, inspired travels into new life. You can scoop her up in your arms and spin her wildly about as she delights in your embrace, throwing her head back and laughing her vibrant, contagious laughter, filling you with exquisite ecstasy. Yes, you shall know the truth, the knowledge that the divine is with you, guiding every unfolding moment of your life journey, no matter how dark it may first appear. The divine is with you in unflinching generosity and with compassion and with fierce passion for you, for your blossoming into all that you are, all that you can be. So, what must you do to receive this grace, this new life? You must be willing to face death. It may be that death has come to you in the form of loss of a beloved one, a physical loss that takes you into the darkest despair or depths of a grieving heart. It may be death that comes to you in the ending of a financial or professional situation you once relied upon. It could also be in the sense that you don't really know who you are anymore. Old identities have shown themselves to be inadequate, inaccurate, mere ego masks to shelter the great being that you are starting to suspect you may be. Your death may be a choice to let go, to take a new step in a direction, to move house, to end a relationship, to change career, or step away from a religious or philosophical tradition, or a group or a teacher. Your death may feel as though it has come by choice at all. It may be a sickness that leaves you feeling helpless, a relationship or other life circumstances changing when you wish with all your heart that it would not. Your transition through the death may be triggered by an inner feeling that you cannot quite pin down. Nonetheless, it powerfully propels you away from what has been towards untapped possibilities, perhaps even towards great confusion as you encounter life in a new way, feeling even somewhat unprepared and uncertain to what may lie ahead of you now.
Mm-hmm.
How you deal with this grace, hidden though it may first appear to be under the cloak of crisis, is up to you. You have enough spiritual intelligence to shift perspective, to choose if you wish to rest your inner gaze upon what lies beyond death. Gaze instead of new life that is calling you. When you know deep within that no matter what experiences you have had in your life that are untainted, you will be more easily able to trust in the love of the divine has for you. You won't question your worthiness, therefore, you will trust in life more easily and more fully, no matter how it asks for you of you at times. The divine is a relentless lover. It wants nothing less than you than your total being to be held in its embrace. Sometimes that means we will have to give up lesser love for greater love, the divine one that calls us to remember our true nature. You're a beautiful blazing soul, having divine experience that defies explanation and opens you up to divinity. That is what is happening in your life now. Whether the death is obvious and painful to you, or whether you are uncertain as to how it is yet showing up in your life, either way, there is an ending imminent and a new life coming to you with greater opportunity for your radiant soul to shine in its beauty in the world. Grasp it eagerly, beloved. Now is not the time for fear or hesitation. Focus on what is coming, whilst honoring what is no longer to be. So it was exactly a direct message
Mm.
of what we experienced. So get excited. And I have another gift for you and all of you
Tell me.
who resonated. I'm going to be giving you the decree right now from Jeff and Sheila's book. I think I do the decree 100 times a day. And the decrees are like really powerful because Jeff and Sheila are like twin flame specific teachers. The decrees are like very powerful. So I choose to be in permanent harmonious union with my true twin flame. I surrender my life to God's loving way. I choose to see, know, and completely accept God's loving way when it is presented to me. I choose to follow God's loving way with absolute faith, commitment, dedication, discipline, and joy. I trust God to show me the way. I surrender all of myself completely to love's warm embrace. I trust love will guide and protect me, and I protect and channel only love in every thought, word, choice, and action. I'm one with love in every moment now and eternally. I'm God's perfect channel. Whenever God calls me to, I will speak, act, and choose as my Creator asks. I act immediately upon God's loving guidance without hesitation or laziness. I'm complete in my love with God. I choose to manifest my twin flame now for the purpose of perfect union and my ascension. I choose to align myself fully to my perfect union and take all steps needed to permanently secure my perfect union sustainably for all eternity. I'm one with my twin flame, and together we choose to enjoy an eternity of loving enjoyment with God as one. I take each step in my ascension journey with peace, joy, ease, and loving perfection. I surrender all resistance and patiently walk through each step as it arises. I'm one with God's love now. And so it is, thus it shall be. Amen. How do you feel?
Well, I'm on cloud nine
Expect miracles?
anytime. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you. God bless you.
ভালো থেকো, খুব ভালো থেকো।
You too. So now I'm going to be doing something very exciting because she just said, God bless you. I just got nostalgic, not nostalgic, obsessed because you know I'm obsessed with Krishna. So, okay. So, this is Krishna's message for everybody. And Navneeta, you will be getting hints about your twin flame journey. Listen गौर से, all of you
ঠিক আছে।
listen गौर से. ये जो पार्ट है ये सबको इंफॉर्मेशन देने वाले हैं अपने तरीके से. Those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with the material last, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, who are unbewildered and know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attend to that eternal kingdom. The surrendering process is described here very nicely, like life is getting better and better and better and better. The first qualification is that one should not be deluded by pride, because the conditioned soul is puffed up, thinking himself the lord of material nature. It is very difficult for him to surrender unto the supreme personality of Godhead. One should know by the cultivation of real knowledge that he is not lord of material nature. The supreme personality of Godhead is the Lord. When one is free of delusion caused by pride, he can begin the process of surrender. For one who is always expecting some honor in the material world, it is not possible to surrender to the Supreme Person. Pride is due to illusion. For although one comes here, stays for a brief time, and then goes away, he has the foolish notion that he is the Lord of the world. He thus makes all things complicated and he is always in trouble. The whole world moves under his impression. People are considering the land, this earth, to belong to human society, and they have divided the land under the false impression that they are the proprietors. One has to get out of the false notion that human society is the proprietor of the world. When one is freed from such false notion, he becomes free from all false associations caused by familial, social, or national affections. These faulty associations bind us to this material world. At this stage, one has to develop spiritual knowledge, one has to cultivate knowledge of what actually his own and what actually is not his own. And one has an understanding of things as they are, and he becomes free from all dual conceptions such as happiness, distress, pleasure, pain. He becomes full in knowledge. But it is possible for him to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And I continue to read because I'm addicted to Bhagavad Gita. that
Go ahead.
supreme
Absolutely go ahead.
that supreme abode of mind is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to the material world. The spiritual world, the abode of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is called known as Krishna Loka or Galoka Vrindavana, is described here. In the spiritual sky, there is no need of sunshine, moonshine, fire, or electricity because all planets are self luminous. We have only one planet in this universe, the sun, which is self luminous, but all planets in the sky are self luminous. The sky, shining effulgence of those planets called Vaikunthas constitutes the shining sky known as Brahma Jyoti. Actually, the effulgence is emanating from the planet of Krishna, Galoka Vrindavana. Part of the shining effulgence is covered by Mahat Tattva, the material world. Other than this, the major portions of the shining sky is full of spiritual planets, which are called Vaikunthas, chief of which is Galoka Vrindavana. As long as a living entity is in the dark material world, he is in the conditioned life. But as soon as he reaches the spiritual sky by cutting through the false, perverted tree of this material world, he becomes liberated. And there is no chance of coming back here. In his conditioned life, the living entity considers himself to be the lord of the material world, but in this liberated state, he enters into the spiritual kingdom and becomes an associate of the Supreme Lord. There he enjoys eternal bliss and eternal life and full knowledge. One should be captivated by this information. He should desire to transfer himself to the eternal world and extricate himself from this false reflection of reality. For one who is too much attached to the material world, it's very difficult to cut that attachment. But it takes to Krishna consciousness, there is a chance of gradually becoming detached. One has to associate himself with devotees, those who are in Krishna consciousness. One should search out a society dedicated to Krishna consciousness and learn how to discharge devotional to dis- how to discharge devotional service. In this way, he can cut off his attachment to the material world. One cannot become detached from the attraction of the material world simply by dressing himself in saffron cloth. He must become attached to the devotional service of the Lord. Therefore, one should take it very seriously that devotional service, as described in 12th chapter, is the only way to get out of the false representation of the real tree. In chapter 14, the contamination of all kinds of process by material nature is described. Only devotional service is described as purely transcendental. The words pranam mama are very important here. Actually, every nook and corner is the property of Supreme Lord, but the spiritual world is paramam, full of six opulences. The Katha Upanishad also confirms that the spiritual world, there is no need of sunshine or moonshine or stars, for the whole spiritual sky is illuminated by the eternal potency of the Supreme Lord. The supreme abode can be achieved only by surrender and by no other means. And all of you are really loved by God and are the fragmented parts of God, which is strangely the next chapter, the next part. And I'll just read that. Before that, I have to tell you all a surprise. Krishna has a gift for all of you. Close your eyes. You will see a very cute ball with hands and a lot of light. Literally might feel like disco to you and pinkish vibe. That's Krishna Loka. Welcome to Christ consciousness. And I think I'm the most new edgy cool teacher who is giving disco light explanation for that because it's cute, very cute, cute, cute. And there is a lot of light and a lot of light, a lot of amazing stuff there. And you'll see there's nothing else other than that huge circle. We're all a part of that circle. and that whole circle is Krishna. And that cute feeling you get. And now you all will be getting to see translucent body of Krishna and a lot of gods who are Krishna himself. You will see how the evolution of the gods lead to Krishna being the only one. And you will see how he is in you and you are in him. And you guys, I mean, he's all that is. There's nothing but him. So everybody's ego is pushing themselves out completely and we're realizing that there's nothing. No human being is Krishna. Krishna is Krishna. No one person is Krishna. Everything is Krishna. He is the teacher. He is the Lord. We're all servants of Krishna. And he has no human body. He is there where we see him in this vibration. And he is Nirakar. He has no form. He has no body. The energy of God doesn't have a body. The circle thing that you see, we're all part of it. And the cute sensation of it you see, because that's God's energy. And that's the energy of chi energy we sense in our heart space. The living entities in the conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with six senses, which include the mind. In this verse, the identity of living being is clearly given. The living entity is the fragment of the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord eternally. It is not that he assumes individually in the conditional life and his liberated state becomes one with the Supreme Lord. He is eternally fragmented. It is clearly said that Sanatana, according to the Vedic version, the Supreme Lord manifests and expands himself in the innumerable expansions, of which the primal expansion are called Vishnu Tattva, and the secondary explanation called the living entities. In other words, Vishnu Tattva is the personal expansion, and living entities are the separated expansions. By his personal expansion, he is manifested in various forms like Lord Rama, Nrsimha Deva. He is manifested in various forms. Okay, Vishnu Murti and all the predominating deities in Vaikuntha planet. The separated expansion, the living entities, are eternally servitors, the personal expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The individual entities of the Godhead are always present. Similarly, the separated expansion of living entities have their identities. As fragmented parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, the living entities have fragmented portions of his qualities, of which independence is one. Every living entity, as an individual soul, has his personal individuality and a minute form of independence. By misuse of that independence, one becomes a conditioned soul, and by a proper use of the independence, he always becomes liberated. In either case, he is qualitatively eternal, and as Supreme Lord is, in his liberated state, he is freed from the material condition and he is under the engagement of the transcendental service unto Lord. In his conditioned life, he is dominated by the material modes of nature and he forgets the transcendental loving service of the Lord. As a result, he has to struggle very hard to maintain his existence in the material world. The living entities, not only human beings and cats and dogs, but even greater controllers of the material world, Brahma, Lord Shiva, and even Vishnu, are all part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. They are all eternal and not temporary manifestation. The word Karsati, struggling or grappling hard, is very significant. The conditioned soul is bound up as those shackled by iron chains. This is what Kabbalah slavery is. He is bound up by the false ego, and the mind is the chief agent which is driving him in the material world. When the mind is the mode of goodness, his activities are good. When the mind is the mode of passion, his activities are troublesome. And when the mind is the mode of ignorance, he travels in the lower species of life. It is clear, however, in this verse that the conditioned soul is covered by material body with the mind and the senses. And when he is liberated, his material covering perishes, but the spiritual body manifests itself in its individual capacity. The following information is there in Madhyanyana Shruti. It is stated that here that when a living entity gives up on the material embodiment and enters into the spiritual world, he revives his spiritual body, and in his spiritual body, he can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. He can hear and speak to him face to face, and he can understand the Supreme Personality as he is. From Smriti, also, it is understood in these spiritual planets, everyone lives in bodies which are like Supreme Personality of Godheads. As far as bodily construction is concerned, there is no difference between the part and parcel of living entities and expansion of Vishnu Murti. In other words, as the liberation living entity gets spiritual body by the grace of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The word Mamai Vamsha, the fragmental parts and parcels of Supreme Lord are also very significant. The fragmented portion of Supreme Lord is not like material broken part. We have already understood the second chapter that this spirit cannot be cut into pieces. The fragment is materially conceived. It is not matter which can be cut into pieces and joined together again. The conception of it is applicable here because Sanskrit Sanatana, eternal, is used. The fragmented portion is eternal, and it is stated in the beginning of the second chapter that in which every individual body is a fragmental portion of Supreme Lord is present. The fragmental portion, when liberated from the body, entanglement revives its original spiritual body in the spiritual sky in a spiritual planet and enjoys association with the Supreme Lord. It is, however, understood that here that living entity, being fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, is qualitatively one with the Lord, just as part and parcel of gold all are also gold. So thank you and love and light to you. I hope you all enjoyed today's session. What's your experiences? Hello, Pramila, how was your experience? Hello.
Hello?
Hi, how was your
Oh,
experience?
wonderful, wonderful. Matlab, it was very, transformatory, and somewhere else I was. Very nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Urmila, how was your experience?
Very, very cool.
Rahi, Ruchi,
ভালো ছিল, ভালো লাগছিল লাইফ লাইফ
Ruchi is writing really, really Radhe Krishna. Wow. Navneeta, how do you feel now? Wow. Ruchi is writing Krishna ही दिख रहे हैं मुझे. That wow, 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 wow. That was the whole aim. Navneeta, how was your experience?
I don't think I can put it in words. It would be very unfair if I have to put any words like stupendous or great or fab. I think nothing would define a moment which is as pristine and exquisite as the word you mentioned in the Rumi's one, right? So yeah, I
Yes.
think beyond exquisite ecstasy would be the one. Yeah,
Wow. That's
precisely
beautiful.
what I could. Yeah,
You
explain.
had like some massive, massive transformation. I can sense it through your vibration. A huge shift. Congratulations to all of you on the massive activation all of you had. I see you all again on Monday. So
Sure.
thank you and